Sup everybody, Sam Dog, the infamous 253, joined through the power speakerphone with Dallas Stewart, coming at you guys for the Week 6 picks of the 2019 NFL season. We're ready to get on started. Dallas, let them know what's up, man.
What's going on, everybody?
Yep, not a really good week last week for us. You went 500. I went 7-8 on picks though, because we had the split. But, so far our best week of the season for picks has been week number 1 so far.
Yeah, we were pretty good in week 1.
Yeah, we weren't so good this week, but whole other week, and let's see how we can do this time.
It started off well last week, and then the afternoon games came, and then the Sunday and Monday, and then it turned out not to be a so good week. But the early games, we only got like 2 wrong in the early games.
Yeah, we did. Whew. And other than that, though, thankfully we got our win on Thursday night for our superstition for Thursday night. But this time, it's time to break the Thursday night football wrong picking streak. First off, we got the New York Giants taking on the New England Patriots in Foxborough on Thursday Night Football. Daniel Jones getting ready to take on Tom Brady, the GOAT. And we do not think he's quite ready for that. We watched how he played against the Minnesota Vikings, and the Vikings just did major work on him. So I am picking the New England Patriots to win big against the New York Giants to end our Thursday night streak of getting Thursday night picks, Ron. So I am taking the Patriots, and I'm pretty sure you are too.
Yeah, I just have to go with New England in this one. Boy, they have had a really soft schedule so far, and I like them getting to 6-0. I don't see a upset like in Super Bowl 42 or Super Bowl 46. Not this time.
Not gonna happen.
Eli Manning is not starting.
Nope. So Daniel Jones is gonna have his hands full with the best defense in the league right now, which is that Patriots defense.
Sorry to all those Giants YouTubers out there.
Sorry, guys. All right. Up next, we got we got London game number 2 between the Carolina Panthers and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Sorry, a little British accent just for fun. Last time these two teams played, week 2, Tampa Bay came out with a surprising win, but that was when the Panthers had Cam Newton starting and Cam Newton was hurt. Tampa Bay coming off of a big loss to the New Orleans Saints at home where Bridgewater just did work on them, and Jameis really couldn't get anything going later on except for a garbage time touchdown where they ended up losing by a touchdown to the Saints. Kyle Allen is still unbeaten, coming off of a big win over Minshew and the Jags, and Christian McCaffrey's been running red hot. McCaffrey so far, in my opinion, is I think the best running back in the league right now. McCaffrey's on fire, and I think he's going to continue to keep on jetting and doing good. But this time, I think it'll be they'll split the series. So I'm taking the Carolina Panthers to take it with the split with Kyle Allen at quarterback. I think they split the series this season. I'm taking the Carolina Panthers in London.
Yeah, I'm taking Carolina to get their revenge on Tampa Bay from that Week 2 Thursday night game. I just like the way they're playing right now. They just seem to be gelling on both sides of the ball. So give me Carolina to get their 4th straight after an 0-2 start.
McCaffrey's already looking like an MVP candidate so far this season.
A lot of people have mentioned his name.
Yeah, McCaffrey, he's playing some great football. You got to give him his props where it's due,
Yeah.
The kid can ball. That kid can ball. And I will definitely give him that. Carolina definitely got a star when they drafted him a couple years back. All right. Up next, this is the game you were talking about as the battle for the number 1 pick. Dallas, you want to say what it is?
Either the number 1 pick ball or probably, I thought of a good one, the Sewage Bowl.
The Sewage Bowl. The Redskins and the Miami Dolphins, the 2 biggest dumpster fire ass teams of the league this year. Man, oh man, oh man. Both these teams, they're gonna need who will get the number 1 pick. I know who is even going to start for the Redskins is my question, and obviously we know Josh Rosen's starting for the Dolphins, but these teams are just so abysmal right now, man, for real. Do you want to go first with this one?
Yeah, I probably have to go with Washington under new interim head coach Bill Callahan. And I was just thinking about this. He replaces Jay Gruden, and when he replaced John Gruden when John Gruden got traded to the Buccaneers. So he replaces another Gruden.
Wow.
And apparently Jay Gruden's key card didn't work on Monday.
It didn't work on Monday.
And I made that prediction.
You called it.
Reaction. I said, yeah, I bet this is the game where he gets his pink slip or his walking papers, and sure enough, the next day he did.
And the key card didn't work at all. But yeah,
Dan Snyder and Bruce Allen cracked the code to his key card. Sorry, all those Redskins fans out there.
Sorry, Ed
Your
Oliver.
team is a mess.
Sorry, Ed Oliver. But I'm at least going to side with Dallas and pick you guys to beat the Dolphins. So I'm going to take the Washington Reds.
The Dolphins are worse than you.
Yeah, Steel Maiden picked the Redskins to beat the Dolphins by a score of 9-3.
I'm glad I don't get to watch this game.
You and me both.
I feel sorry for whoever gets that game.
You and me both. All right, up next we got the New Orleans Saints versus the Jacksonville Jaguars. Saints came off of a big home win to get the 4-1, beating the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The Jaguars just couldn't get it done last week against the Carolina Panthers in Carolina. They had a chance to try to tie it up and get a touchdown and possibly force overtime, and they had a penalty to give them one other chance, but then Kuechly batted the pass down. Wasn't even close to that, and Jacksonville was able to, and Carolina was able to hold them off for the win. Saints are still momentum. Teddy Bridgewater's playing good. I mean, I want the Jaguars to win this because we're going to need someone to hand the Saints another L, so that way we can try to, because they have the tiebreaker over us, but I don't really see it happening. I'm going to take the New Orleans Saints to get another win here. I'm taking the Saints.
Yeah, I'm taking the Saints as well. Teddy Bridgewater looks like to be thriving with those receivers and the running game, and the defense looks like they're gelling right now, and they just seem to be clicking on all cylinders. Like, they just haven't missed a beat since Drew Brees went down.
They haven't. I mean,
imagine how dangerous they can be when he comes back.
And possibly, if Brees retires, do they want to keep Bridgewater around to be the next quarterback? If that's the case, if he continues to perform the way he's been performing,
yeah,
that's a thought to think about for the Saints' future, man. If they want to have Bridgewater as their future at quarterback, you know. I mean, he never did this with Minnesota.
No, he didn't.
I mean, we beat him twice when he was with Minnesota. Only one of them was because of a Blair Walsh missed kick, though. But he never did this stuff with Minnesota. But we got him winning against the Mustache Man and Gardner Minshew. But we hope Jacksonville and Saxonville can wake up and do something about it. But we don't quite see it happen. But if it happens, great. It could help us out. But that's pending if we can beat the Browns. But, you know, that's just the way we feel about it right now. So we both got the Saints in this game. Yeah. All right, up next we got the Cincinnati Bengals taking on the Baltimore Ravens. Bengals came back and was able to tie the game, but they gave up that last-second drive to Kyler Murray, and Kyler Murray was able to set up Zane Gonzalez for a game-winning kick to give the Cardinals their first win of the season and putting the Bengals to 0-5. Ravens got taken to overtime against the Pittsburgh Steelers in Pittsburgh, and if Juju Smith-Schuster doesn't fumble that ball, I think Delvin Hodges could have let a game-winning drive because obviously the Ravens had the punt before, and then Smith just held onto the ball carelessly, which allowed, and Humphrey picked the right spot to punch the ball out to force the fumble, and then he recovered that very fumble, and then they were able to set up Tucker for the game-winning kick, but This is an easy decision. I'm taking the Ravens to beat the Bengals here. Ravens are going to win.
Yeah, Ravens are going to have a nice little tune-up game before they come in here next week.
Yeah.
The Bengals are just so god-awful. They couldn't even beat a rookie quarterback at home.
Yeah, I know, for real.
I thought they'd at least be able to beat the Cardinals.
Yeah, and they were able to come back against them, but they couldn't get it done. They just let Kyler Murray have that big run to set him up in field goal range, and that was that. That was that. So Ravens over Bengals at home, a nice little tune-up game before Earl Thomas comes back the next week after that. All right, up next, our game, Seahawks versus Browns. We know our story. Pulled off a big 1-point win over the Los Angeles Rams at home. I was in the suite. Whole suite and the whole stadium was going crazy when Zerline missed that kick. Thank God. Hallelujah, man. And, you know, a big win like that can really shape a season, you know. And I think that, you know, beating the Rams, I mean, that was one of our first real tests other than, you know, losing to the Saints, which we basically just laid an egg. We didn't really expose ourselves in that game against the Saints. We just shot ourselves in the foot, man, for real. Would you agree?
Yeah.
Yeah. Cleveland Browns, man, you know, it's like what's happening with them? You know, it's like they don't show up against Tennessee. They get whipped pretty hard. They have a big win against, obviously, they played a crappy Jets team without Sam Darnold. And then they have a statement win against the Ravens, and yet they don't show up, and Baker Mayfield just gets freaking pistol whipped out there, getting sacked more than 3 times, which Nick Bosa planted a flag for revenge, like Baker did when Oklahoma upset Ohio State when Nick Bosa was still on Ohio State. So he planted an imaginary flag, and then San Francisco just went on to kick the crap out of him. Which, I mean, Baker looked like crap that game, man. But I'm still not I'm not going to overlook Cleveland because of their receiving core. But if we can still shut down their receivers, it's great. But if we get pressure, all we got to do is just pressure Mayfield in the backfield with Jadeveon Clowney and Poona Ford. And we got to sack them, strip them if we can. If we're able to hit them like that, we will come out on top. And I like our chance. I'm not going to overlook it, but I'm taking the Seahawks. I'm taking us to win in Cleveland and just continue our momentum.
Yeah, I like the Seahawks as well. I mean, I'm not even really trying to be biased. I mean, last week, we actually thought the Rams were going to win that game.
We did.
We actually picked against the Seahawks.
Yeah, because of a superstition.
Yeah, but we also were like, man, the Rams, you know, they have a good team. They were coming off of a shocking loss to Tampa Bay.
And then,
but the Browns, maybe all that hype was just overblown. Maybe they're just the same old Browns.
Maybe they are.
They've been year after year.
Day after day.
A lot of people thought they could win the North. A lot of people actually at least thought they could get a wild card or win the North, and they've just haven't lived up to expectations. Myles Garrett's the only guy we really have to worry about is Myles Garrett on the defense.
Yeah.
We cannot let him go through that line, or it's going to be a long day for Wilson.
Yeah, but Wilson right now for us, I'll tell you what, Wilson is playing at an MVP level right now. I mean, he's leading the league in touchdown passes right now. He has 12 touchdown passes through 5 weeks right now. 5.
And we just have to keep pace with San Francisco and the Rams.
Oh yeah. But Wilson has been put in possibly an MVP candidacy this year, and he's just been killing it on his deep ball passes. 12 touchdowns, 0 interceptions so far. 0 interceptions. Wilson's been killing it. If he continues to do that, we can keep pace and we can compete with the best of the best. And beating the Rams last week definitely showed that we could still be up there to compete with the best of them, you know. And that's why, you know, I feel that winning that game, I think, was a huge momentum shift, and I think we can still, you know, do what we can. If we keep on doing what we're doing, we're in for something special.
Yeah, it was kind of a measuring stick game. Maybe it springboards you, but they just can't. They cannot fall victim to a trap. This is a game you can't afford to lose.
You can't fall for a trap game. That's for damn sure too. And even last week, you said that this would have been last week was our best chance to possibly split with the Rams and, beat them and finally end that losing streak at home. And we did it at home because Zerline choked. Because Greg Zerline, Blair Walshed it.
Yeah, because I know how hard that Sunday night game is going to be to get in LA.
Yeah, but our numbers it seems like most of the time we played on prime time. We've always thrived on prime time. The last couple of times when we played the Niners on prime time, we've thrived, especially starting with, the Thanksgiving game and then another Thursday night game the year after that. I mean, we've had Frisco's number in prime time games too, including Sunday night in 2012.
Like to mention that our secondary needs to improve a lot.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, Tedder did have a key reception, but
they did not look good last week. We cannot let those receivers for Cleveland just have a field day.
Yeah, we got to play man coverage on Beckham and Jarvis Landry.
And I expect a better performance from Cleveland, but I still expect us to go there and take care of business and get a win.
But our pass rush needs to get pressure and quarterback hits on Baker Mayfield so we can force them to have a bad day, just like San Francisco did to them last night. So
yeah, it'd be nice to have at least a 10-point win, maybe a stress-free win.
True that, just like we had.
Not sweating it out in the last 5 minutes. Maybe a game like Arizona.
Yeah.
We have one of those games.
But we're not going to overlook the Browns just because of what happened to them last night. And we got to be able to...
I expect a little bit better of a performance. I expect them to make their adjustments.
Hey, the Browns may have knocked out Kyle Juszczyk for a long time because Juszczyk has an MCL injury from last night. And Juszczyk was heavy effective in the 49ers running game as a blocking fullback. And that proved once Juszczyk went away in that game, the running game was nowhere to be found for Frisco. And plus, Robbie Gould missed 3 field goals, which one of them was blocked. All right, so other than that, we got Seahawks over Browns. Up next, we got the Philadelphia Eagles going to U.S. Bank Stadium to take on the Minnesota Vikings. As we know, the Vikings just came off of a big win against the New York Giants, and the Philadelphia Eagles just annihilated the Jets back on Sunday with 2 defensive house calls. One where the guy stripped Luke Falk, and then obviously one of the linebackers pick-sixed him. And the Vikings just, they took care of their business against the New York Giants on defense and offense. Kirk Cousins was connecting all right with Adam Thielen, but I think, both teams got good defenses, but I think the Eagles just got a little bit more on their offense. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take Philly to get a win on the road in Minnesota because they look a little better, especially with their defense, and then plus, being interested to see what Deshaun Jackson can do this week and their other receivers and see if Jordan Howard can continue his momentum. I'm taking the Eagles.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Eagles on the road. The Vikings have alternated wins and losses so far. They just look like Jekyll and Hyde. Yeah, I don't know I don't know if they're good. They're good one game. They're bad one game. And the Eagles need to keep pace with the Cowboys in the NFC East.
Yeah.
Because the Cowboys, in my opinion, have a cupcake this week.
Yeah, because they're playing the Jets, and even though the Jets are going to have Sam Darnold back,
they'll get right against the Jets.
Yep, we will.
That'll be a get right game for them.
Heck yeah, it will be. All right. Up next, we got the Houston Texans taking on the Kansas City Chiefs. The Texans are coming off of a big win over the Falcons, where they dropped 53 points because the last play they scored on was a pick six. They already had the game to begin with, and Kansas City Chiefs surprisingly upset at Arrowhead by Jacoby Brissett and the Indianapolis Colts, and Justin Houston basically got his revenge last week. And this is the first time, not to mention, that 2 quarterbacks in the first round of the 2017 draft will be facing off against each other, with Deshaun Watson versus Patrick Mahomes, who the Chiefs traded up. I think the Chiefs traded up to number 10 to get Patrick Mahomes. And then after that, I think that was when I forgot what pick overall Watson was drafted by the Texans, but this is the first time these 2 quarterbacks will face off against each other. I mean, I like Houston's defense and all too, and then Mahomes' leg got hurt, ankle got cleated in that game, and Mahomes was playing a little hurt. He didn't quite really look like. I mean, of course, other than the big touchdown pass he had, which was one of the top 10 top 15 plays of the week. I mean, it was a great play, but that Colts defense is really getting him. But other than that, though, I think the Chiefs have a bounce back. I think they bounce back this week. They're in Arrowhead against the Texans, and I think I'm gonna take the Chiefs to get a bounce back win against the Texans. I'm taking the Chiefs in this one, but it should be a good game though.
Yeah, that should be a good game. I gotta go with the Chiefs. I just can't see them losing 2 in a row at Arrowhead.
Yeah.
I think they're gonna be I think they're gonna be very frustrated after that upset loss to Jacoby Brissett of all people.
And Justin Houston, their former player on defense.
Yeah, so I like them getting to 5-1.
5-1. 5-1.
And trying to keep pace with the Patriots in the AFC, but also trying to
keep first place in the AFC West.
Their lead in the AFC West.
Big time. Whew. But it'll be a good matchup, depending on what Deshaun Watson can do.
And Houston, they're another Jekyll and Hyde team. They're up and down. That AFC South is a mystery. I have no idea who's going to win it, and I don't know who wants to win it.
You and me both.
It's the hardest division to figure out.
Is the AFC South.
Yeah.
All right, up next, we got the Atlanta Falcons going to the desert to take on the Arizona Cardinals. As we mentioned, the Falcons just came off of that disappointing loss to the Texans. I mean, their receivers were making plays like Ridley and Julio and Mohamed Sanu, but it just wasn't enough for the way Matt Ryan was choking against that Texans defense. And then Arizona finally got their first win of the year against the Cincinnati Bengals. I mean, the Falcons only have one win. The Cardinals only have one win. This is the battle of 2 one-win teams in the NFC. And, I mean, the only thing that is the advantage is Atlanta has a better offense. I mean, is this the week where, Cardinals, they beat the Bengals, and I think the Cardinals may be in for a home letdown against the Falcons. So, I know we weren't really going to go on this again, but this is one I feel the Falcons should win. So I'm going to take Atlanta at home against the Arizona Cardinals. I'm taking the Falcons.
Yeah, I probably have to go with the Falcons, but I obviously wouldn't be surprised if the Cardinals win. The Falcons obviously have a better offense and a more experienced quarterback, but they've been a huge disappointment. They were a disappointment last year with all the injuries on the defense.
If they lose this game, do you think they fire Dan Quinn?
Well, Arthur Blank made a statement that the coaching staff is safe. I don't know how they could be. I thought they were going to be a wild card team this year in the NFC, but I also thought they had a chance for the NFC South title. And they've just had to be one of the biggest disappointments through 5 weeks.
They have been.
Because you look at their offense, and Ridley, Sanu, Jones, Ryan,
Devontae Freeman, and then Ito Smith, that other running back. I think that's his name. Is his name Ito Smith? Correct me in the comments.
They should be better than 1-4. And how about this? They've lost to 3 straight AFC South teams: Indianapolis, Tennessee, and Houston.
3 straight AFC South teams.
Well, I wonder if they'll get swept by the AFC South this year.
They might. When do they play?
I'll probably go. I'll go with Atlanta again, but.
When do they play? When do they play Minshew? Is the question. I wonder when they'll play Minshew. That will be.
I don't know, but I'm really losing my confidence in Atlanta.
You and me both.
I wonder if this is the week, or we actually pick them and they actually win.
This might be the week.
Yep.
All right. There's the next one. Up next, we got the 49ers going to the Coliseum to take on the Rams in Los Angeles. And we all know the Rams have taken back-to-back L's to Tampa and us in Seattle. Not a good look right now. 49ers are undefeated at 4-0. How long will it last, man? That defense is looking sharp. And then, obviously, the 49ers... the 49ers just lost their best fullback in in Kyle Juszczyk, and obviously that's going to heavily affect their running game because the running game can easily be stopped. It is hard to run against a team like the Rams, so if they try it with Coleman and Breida, you can expect to see Aaron Donald and Michael Brockers making stops on those runs most of the time. Because once, like I mentioned earlier, when Juszczyk was out of the game, 49ers run game with Breida and Coleman started to disappear. But the only advantage for the 49ers is that Clay Matthews is out with a broken jaw when Chris Carson's foot inadvertently last week got Clay Matthews on the jaw, man. And so that's going to be a big factor. And Aaron Donald only has 1 sack this year. So if I'm Aaron Donald, I'm feeling really PO'd that I'm not getting enough sacks. And he's got to be wanting to get some sacks pretty badly. And I would not be surprised if he woke up and tried to at least do some damage to Jimmy Garoppolo and take it out on him. But the Rams have back-to-back L's. But I'll tell you what, I cannot see Sean McVay and the Rams losing 3 in a row. I mean, also Todd Gurley in the backfield, how well will he be able to be used? I mean, he's been being used most of the time in the red zone. I don't know why they haven't ran Malcolm Brown a lot, because Malcolm Brown has been paying big dividends when he's came in the Rams backfield, making some other big plays. But where Gurley, they just use him in the red zone. But like I mentioned, I can't see this Sean McVay team losing 3 weeks in a row. So I'm going to take the Los Angeles Rams to bounce back and take it out on San Francisco this week and knock the 49ers to 4-1. I'm taking the Rams.
Yeah, I got to go with the Rams as well to bounce back after 2 losses in a row. This is San Francisco's biggest challenge so far. This is, everybody's questioning, are they really that good? Well, they have a chance to prove it this week. If they can go on the road and beat the Rams in the Coliseum, then I think it's time for everybody in the NFC to start taking note.
Taking notice.
Taking notice, and maybe the San Francisco is a contender in the NFC, but I gotta go with the Rams in this one.
But by the time the 49ers play against the Saints will have Drew Brees back.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that will be another challenge. And plus, they still got to face Aaron Rodgers and that red-hot Packer offense, and that Packer defense has been playing really, really lights out lately, too. So there's still that. They have yet to play some good teams, though. And I think this is one of the challenges that they'll finally get is the Rams. And Aaron Donald, I think Aaron Donald is going to, hopefully, I bet you that Aaron Donald is probably going to eat this week.
Yeah.
Him, Corey Littleton, and that secondary. That secondary should have no problem with the receivers, and the linebackers need to obviously do a good job covering George Kittle. You limit those guys, shut down their run game, shut down their receivers, pressure Garoppolo, force turnovers, but you're actually going to have to cash in on those turnovers because Pittsburgh wasn't able to cash in on the 5 turnovers that they forced on Frisco when they were playing Pittsburgh, which was the only game Frisco came close to losing if James Conner had not fumbled that ball. Like we mentioned, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But other than that, LA Rams, just go out there and hand Frisco their first loss if you can. But if they lose to that, we know Frisco will probably be for real. But I'm not crowning them after one real challenge, though. I'm not going to crown them because they still got to play us.
Yeah, and if the Rams lose that one, it's time to start to panic.
I'm not panicking until we play them, though. Just saying, you know what I mean?
No, if the Rams lose to the Niners, it's time to panic for the Rams.
Oh, you talking for the Rams?
Yeah, then that Super Bowl hangover, I think, will really set in.
That's exactly what I was thinking, too. If the Rams lose to the 49ers, then the Super Bowl hangover's real.
Yeah.
All right, but we got Rams bouncing back against the 49ers. Up next, we got the Tennessee Titans taking on the Denver Broncos. Two big disappointment teams, although the Broncos came off of a big upset win in Los Angeles over the Chargers, where they just jumped out in front and didn't look back and made big plays throughout, making life miserable for Phillip Rivers. And the Chargers are truly missing Derwin James in that secondary. Titans, The Titans just signed Cody Parkey to be their kicker after releasing Cairo Santos. The king of the doinks is back, but he's with the Tennessee Titans. The doink king is on the Titans. He better pull through with his kicks, though, I mean. But, oh man, this is a toss-up one. Who do we pick in this one? I don't know. The game's in Denver. Mariota's been disappointing, too. I mean, Derrick Henry's the only bright spot for their running game. And they just... And who knows what's been going on with Tennessee's receivers, too, with A.J. Brown. And, oh man, this is going to be... I think we have a toss-up, man, with this one, too. But you want to go first with this one?
Yeah, I probably still got to go with Tennessee. I think Denver will probably have a letdown after that big road win against the Chargers.
Yeah.
The Titans probably should have beaten Buffalo last week if their kicker had just made a couple kicks.
Four kicks at that.
Yeah, but I think they're better than Denver.
I'll pick the Titans too with you, but what if Parkey still has his doinkers? Then he'll be shown the door and probably will never get another chance in the NFL again, and will have to try to take shots at the XFL if he doesn't doink his kicks in XFL tryouts. Oh my God.
Somebody took a flyer on Parkey, unbelievable, after he single-handedly cost the Bears a playoff game.
And obviously got the crown of the Doinker King.
Yeah.
The Doink King. We will always call him the Doink King.
I bet they're glad he's not kicking for them anymore.
Bears fans are probably glad that the King of Doinks is gone.
Yep.
Because he truly was. You could probably still hear the echo of that doink throughout the city of Chicago and Soldier Field. Would you say so?
Yeah.
Is that rubbing salt in the wound?
Yeah.
Oh, man. All right. Up next, we got the Dallas Cowboys taking on the New York Jets. Sam Darnold's finally back from his mono sickness. The Cowboys just got embarrassed at home by the Green Bay Packers. They cannot beat the Packers at home. But, this is a cupcake. We're just going to circle Cowboys.
Yeah, I gotta go with the Cowboys. Sam Darnold coming back, I don't think that's gonna make much of a difference. Sorry, Gangrene David, but your team's in the dumpster. I think he did a video about it, and I'll have to go back and watch it.
Yeah.
About how much of a dumpster fire your team is.
Yeah, but, sorry, David.
The Cowboys are gonna end their 2-game losing streak, and they're gonna get back on track.
They are. All right. Up next, we got Sunday Night Football, a primetime game in the smallest NFL venue at the Dig between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Los Angeles Chargers. Steelers lost that heartbreaking overtime because Juju Smith-Schuster held the ball carelessly, and Humphrey was able to punch that ball out for the fumble to set up Justin Tucker for a game-winning field goal. And obviously, that was pretty costly. Chargers coming off of a major letdown loss, allowing Denver to get their first win of the season in their house. And Phillip Rivers threw a few interceptions. Chargers are really missing Derwin James in that secondary. And I think it's shown dividends with the players they've been hitting for big-time plays, like when the Broncos were able to hit Cortland Sutton. But can the Hodge man, Delvin Hodges, get it going with those receivers? But I don't really see it happening with that. So, primetime game, Los Angeles Chargers at home, taking on Pittsburgh. But obviously Rudolph got knocked out, so who knows how long Rudolph will be on a concussion protocol, because I think it was just a concussion. But I'm taking the Los Angeles Chargers to get a bounce-back win against the Pittsburgh Steelers on primetime against the Steelers in Dignity Health Sports Park, which might be one of the only primetime games taking place there in the smallest NFL venue in the league. So I'm taking the Chargers.
Yeah, I'm taking the Chargers to get to 500 and bounce back after that tough loss at home to Denver last week. It's just a mess at the quarterback situation right now for Pittsburgh. Sorry, Mike Tomlin. You're in for a long season, but
sorry, Erica Steele.
You're going to get a pass, I believe.
Yeah, sorry, Erica Steele and Steel Maiden and Lady of Steel as well. Sorry about, what's been going on.
It's one of those years you'll want to forget.
It is truly one of those years they'll want to forget in Pittsburgh. All right, last but not least, the Monday Night Football game between the Detroit Lions and the Green Bay Packers at Lambeau Field. We all know the Packers have been red hot. They're coming off of a big win. The Packers have never lost in Jerry World, including the Super Bowl. The Packers in Jerry World is like the Seahawks in MetLife Stadium. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Including a Super Bowl as well, you know what I'm saying? Because the Packers won the Super Bowl against the Steelers in Arlington, in Jerry World as well. Detroit Lions, I think the Lions are coming off of a bye week.
They had a bye.
Yeah, who did they play? Who did they play before the bye week?
I remember they lost their first game. Oh, the Chiefs.
Oh, yeah, it was that game against the Chiefs before their bye week, too. But Packers are red hot. I don't think we'll have a split this week. I'm taking Green Bay. I don't know if they'll get Devontae Adams. How long is Devontae Adams out for? I mean, Aaron Jones last week for the Packers had 4 rushing touchdowns against the Cowboys. But how long is Devontae Adams out for?
I have no idea.
All right. Regardless, I'm still taking the Packers to win this game.
Yeah, I'm taking the Packers. They look like a huge threat in the NFC. And if they could somehow get home field, we know how tough it is to win there.
In Lambeau Field in the winter with all the elements in that, too. Packer mystique.
I just like the way they're playing right now, and they bounced back after that Thursday night loss to the Eagles. It just really took it to Dallas before Dallas, attempted to make a little bit of a comeback.
But Green Bay, that was a a statement win for the Packers.
Yeah, and I like them to keep expanding their lead in the NFC North and keep the pressure on Chicago and Detroit and Minnesota.
Yep.
I think it's going to be Green Bay's division this year.
You and me both, and that's the end of our picks. We have all circles this week.
Yep, the teams that are on a bye are Oakland, Chicago, Indianapolis, and Buffalo. Those are your 4 teams that are they have an off week.
All right, you want to go over? We've been going for 37 minutes, but you want me to go over who we picked?
Yeah.
All right, Patriots, Panthers, Redskins, Saints, Ravens, Seahawks, Eagles, Chiefs, Falcons, Rams, Titans, Cowboys, Chargers, Packers. And that is week number 6. Let me know your picks in the comments down below and your thoughts on the picks. And obviously, I just mentioned it. Yeah, let me know your picks down below and hit that thumbs up button when you get a chance. And if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button, ring the bell for notifications. Like I mentioned, I appreciate all you guys around the league, no matter who your team is, rival or not. Appreciate all you guys that come in, supporting the channel, saying what's up, to me and Dallas, especially when we do the Red Zone reactions. We probably won't have another Red Zone reaction until before the Monday night game against the 49ers, so that probably will be the next one. But other than that, that's week 6. Dallas, thank you once again for coming in.
Yep.
And shout out to my buddy Just Gonna Send It on Twitch, my buddy TJ Line. He wants to try to get in on the game picks with us. We might try to get him in next week if we could try to get a group call in on my phone next week on speakerphone, and we'll try to get him in to make picks with us. But until the next one, Sam Dog the Infamous 253. If you ain't with it, you ain't infamous. And as always, go Seahawks.